I almost had it. I almost I almost had it perfectly. It's okay. Well, hello, sweet souls. My name is Abby. I run AV Tarot Reading, and I am probably going to forget something, drop something, make somebody laugh, put my foot in my face. There's going to be something that happens because that's generally what does. If you're new to this shindig, what we do is every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. we pull cards. We do readings. I do 6 to 9 card readings depending on how I am moved to answer your specific tarot-related question on matters of heart, on work, on family, on business, whatever it happens to be for you. Me, myself, and I, and my partner in crime, throw down. My partner in crime. My wife is Melissa. She's sitting over here. So she's the one that I'll be talking to or trying to make laugh or trying to pull into the conversation when you probably would rather not. And that is, yes, and she also moderates for us. So what she'll be doing as you're throwing in your questions and your comments into the comment section, she will be keeping an eye on the questions that come in and then providing a variety for me to pull on. So it's not going to be first come, first serve, but it is going to be like different types. So if we do love, we're going to do work next. We'll do health then. We'll do something else after that and then kind of circle back around. So she may pull a little from the top, a little from the bottom, but she tries to get as many people in as we can and keeps my life interesting and on my toes. So I appreciate you, darling. Thank you so much. So the way that we do it, we break it up into about 3-ish segments where you spend the first part of the session reading. I've just realized I'm bright as hell right now. Have y'all noticed this yet? There we go. We break it up into a couple sections. The first section being about 30 minutes of 6 card reads. And then we take a quick break where it's like about 4 minutes of us just quickly telling you how you can get in touch with me if you'd like something a little bit more in depth. We then hop back in, so don't go anywhere. We then hop back in, we continue to do the more in-depth reading, and then we go into flash readings, which is one card, super fast, quick intuition, hopping right on in so that we can get as many people as we can before we close up and wrap up for the evening. So the things that we'll read on is almost anything. A couple of the topics that I'm not gonna dig into is anything that's COVID related, or if you're sick, if you wanna know what's gonna happen if someone else gets sick, we're not gonna dig into that. The other type of questions I don't pull on is your time of death or somebody else's time of death, as well as like your I call it third party removed, where it's like your person's person. So like if you have an ex-boyfriend and you're wondering about their relationship with a new person, we're gonna stay out of that. That's a little too far removed to be of any value to us. So we're not gonna pull on those. But outside of that, I will probably try about anything. Just saying. So you can make it fun, you can make it interesting, you can even make it unusual. I'll see what shows up for us. So would you do me a favor and share the love of this video with someone else, either tagging a friend, sharing the link to your own Facebook page, sharing it to a group, or pulling your sister in, whatever you need to do to kind of hop in and join in on the fun. It's so much fun to see who comes to visit, who comes to see the session, and then who ends up kind of talking with me later on about something that someone else pulled them into. So I love seeing these little chain reactions that occur. And so I have to thank you. So I'm going to ask you briefly, how is everyone today? Like I missed out on last week's because I wasn't feeling well. Melissa makes me say that I was sick. It was just a head cold. Yeah. My stubbornness makes me not want to say that I was sick, but I did have a rundown day. So self-care. It was about self-care. Fine. Because the first step in admitting that, or that you have a problem, or fixing that you have a problem, is admitting that you had one. So they say, and I did, and then I took the day off. I took the day off. I took care of myself, and I felt immediately better. So that was kind of a nice thing to do for myself, because I think I get sick maybe once every 5 or 6 years. So it was pretty good. So I'm gonna hop into the comments because I want to see who's here. I want to say hello to everyone. Oh, you've missed me, honey. Thank you. You feel moody, honey. You in the best place for when it comes to moody, because we turn moody into humor all the time. It happens, especially in our house. So I want to say hello. Oh my goodness. So hello from YouTube land. I see. I don't want to. Looks like Chakai Raz. So hello to you, my dear. Satori, hello. Sherry, hello. Kara, hello. Oh, I'm glad that you can hear me clear as day because I forget to ask sometimes. Mac, hello. Victoria. Oh my goodness. I see that you're already gotten your questions coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Ray, I wish I could like fist bump or high five you. I don't know which yet. Maybe both. How about we fist bump one hand and then high five the other? Do you high five and then miss ever? No. She doesn't high five. She's lame. She's lame. Basha, hello. Rose, hello. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad to see everybody. And these are some new names, some familiar names. If you haven't seen me before, I hope to entertain you. I hope to make you laugh, and I hope to give you some wisdom. Is the game plan? So I like to make it fun. I like to make it interesting and entertaining. So I want to hop out of comments because otherwise I'm never going to get anything done. Y'all, you get big hugs. You get big hugs from an Abby to you all. But thank you so much for coming to visit with me. So let me hop back into something other setting. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let me go ahead and get shuffling. Melissa's going to start pulling cards here in a bit, or pulling cards. Are you going to be pulling? She's going. She's like, no, I'm not going to. Refuse to. So Melissa's not pulling cards. I'm going to be pulling cards. Melissa, however, is going to be pulling a person. And in the meantime, I'm going to use a tiny bit of oil. Yeah, we are streaming from Facebook land, as well as YouTube land. And so Melissa will probably be dropping comments for both platforms, just so those of you who are on Facebook can find me on YouTube. Those who are on YouTube can find me on Facebook. We can all be friends. Yeah. No. All right. So we'll be hopping in just a sec. Oh, I love how this stuff smells. I wish you could smell my hands from a distance. Like, just disconnect. Here you go. And then you can send it back because I need 2 hands to read cards. Or shuffle cards at least. All right, my dear. Why do I feel there's a strong connection with my ex? Is there really a connection or am I just crazy? Please, thank you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, hello. You're coming from a different location. Got it. All right, why do you feel a strong connection with your ex? Let's see what shows up for us. Why do you feel like you have a strong connection with your ex? Why do you feel a strong connection with your ex? Okay. Let's see what shows up for us, hon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me, as I almost choke on myself. I'm trying to stay alive and do this. So the first, excuse me, let me pause so I can, or not me pause, let me mute so that I can cough really loudly and not blow out your speakers, okay? So just a second, and you're yeah, we're all better now. Okay, darlings. So looking at the cards that I just pulled for you. So let's look at them together. I have the 4 of Cups as the first one, along with the Moon card and the Ace of Pentacles. The other cards that I have for you is the Death card, along with Temperance, and then the 10 of Wands. So there's a couple things that I'm getting out of the situation. First of all, being kind of like what feels like the big portion of it. I feel like yes, you have a connection with this person. You're not nuts. Of course you have a connection. You felt connected with them enough to get together to begin with. And those are things that don't immediately just cut off. It takes some time, and that's okay. I feel like part of the connection or part of the while it's still hooked in sometimes is because of the distance or because of the what do you call it? It's like the strife, the part of the, oh, there's a word that I'm missing. Okay, so the card that's bringing it to mind is the Five of Wands. This card in particular is all about conflicts and disagreements and usually bickering, and not even like serious bickering, but it's that petty bullshit that he just gets wrapped around your nerves. And so I feel like a little bit of it, yes, it rings on your nerves, but there's also appeal to that. There's something like, it wouldn't get to you if it didn't get to you, you know? So there's a part of that too. Often what I feel about couples and people who you dated is that often there's like a past life association to them as well that kind of keeps you like feeling it a little bit longer than most. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be with them because it's this, sweeping you off your feet kind of thing. No one's saying that. It's just a situation. It's something that occurred for you. The Death card is about transitions and transformation. I wouldn't be surprised if this relationship was a profound one for you. If you've had several, or if you've had only one profound one, either way, this one affected you, as every relationship will. The Temperance card, there we go. Temperance card is about finding the right ingredients and finding the right balance, kind of like this back and forth that is necessary. I feel like in a way they complimented you. They gave you something that you didn't have at the time. And it was, at the time, it was a nice little puzzle fit, right? And we have those memories that kind of pull on those puzzle feels, those puzzle feels. Ultimately, though, with the 10 of Wands kind of being the end result of it, the relationship served its time, it did its purpose, it did its thing for you. And yes, it's going to have its side effects. Yes, it's going to have its like if you've slept on like your hand, and you have that handprint on the side of your face from sleeping on there for 8 hours, yeah, it's going to leave its mark. It's going to leave its imprint. It's going to leave not exactly a scar, but like if you take your ring off and you have that band that's on your ring for a while, ring finger, it's kind of like that. It just takes some time, but eventually another ring will show up. Eventually you'll go back to sleep and have another imprint. Things will keep going. So why, to answer your question directly, why do you feel there's a strong connection? Because there was. Long story short, nothing bad about it. It is what it is, hun. But I hope that you are progressing, that you are moving forward, that you are continuing on with your life, your love, and your existence, because that's what we do. But thank you so much for that question, Sweet Pea. I definitely appreciate you. And I think you it's kind of like that fun arguing, I think. But that's just me. All right, my dear, let me get shuffling. Allie, will I lose my job in the next week? Hun, I hope not. Why? Actually, go ahead and tell me in the comments why you feel like you're going to be losing your job here soon, or why you're worried that you're going to lose your job. Let me know about that, because I may not be able to read it right now, but Melissa's keeping an eye out, and I also rewatch these videos after the fact, and I love to know what's going on with you all. But also, please feel free to let me know how your reading lands, how it resonates for you. I kind of love the feedback and the information on how these little reads apply to you right now. Allie, will Allie lose her job in the next week? You're looking? She's looking. Will Allie lose her job in the next week? You are nervous, honey. Why are you going to lose your job in the next week? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me show you what I have. Because the first card I have for you, hun, is the King of Wands along with the Sun card and the Knight of Swords. So whatever's going on at your role or at your position, the feeling that I'm getting is that shifts need to occur, things need to change. I don't necessarily feel like that you're on the chopping block. My job involves events, and majority of my events have been canceled, and I don't have much to do. Got you. Okay, so with the Hangman, to me, that makes total sense to what you just mentioned there, because this is that near surrender card. However, I feel like with the shifts and the change, there might be a pivot happening with your job as there's starting to be new changes and perspectives and point of views. Are you going to lose your job? Personally, I don't think so, but I'd much rather err on the side of caution. And let's talk about briefly, okay, so what happens if you do? Because as of right now, these sessions are just for as of right now. As of this second, it doesn't seem like you do. Now, if somebody goes and spends all the excess that business has, and now they have no financial resources as things start to shut down again, that may be a different story. So let's just take a quick gander. What do you need to do to prepare in case? The first thing that I'm feeling, hun, is like just to, I feel like you should be doing this anyways, because you're the only one who knows your financial situation as intimately as you do. So first thing I'm feeling like is that you need to actually bump up how much you're saving, like reserving for yourself. If you have any way that you can kind of kick more money to yourself, I would. Like, if it's $10 or $100, like kick more money back to yourself just to kind of give yourself a deeper nest egg. And if you're not already, then start just so you have some available to you. I'd also go ahead and make a list of any assets or resources that you have, and kind of knowing if I have to pull on these strings, I know when I need to pull on those strings. So it's just having that kind of game plan, and then putting that plan in the drawer or in the drawer or in the sink or wherever you need to put it, so that you have it stashed away. You're not thinking about it nonstop. You've got it prepared. You find that ease that shows up with it. You find the relief that shows up with it, because now that you have a plan, you don't have to wishfully think. You don't have to, I hope I don't, I hope I don't, I hope I don't, I hope I don't. Instead of that, you can shift into, I know what would happen if, and if it does, I'm okay. And if it doesn't, great. And if it does, I have these resources. If it doesn't, awesome. If I do, you are prepared. You're prepared. The whole thing is, let's not completely wishful think, but let's prepare. So if you are worried about losing your job, you going ahead and preparing your resume, you updating your portfolio, you getting a handle on where else your skills apply would be a good way to kind of help you. Oh, there's like two words at the same time. It's like a little bit of wisdom. It's like anytime your job gets a little wonky or life around work gets a little wonky, it's so much easier to look for new work while you still have a job. So go ahead and maybe put your feelers out, talk to a recruiter, see what's going on there, just so that you can kind of feel at ease about what your market or what other job markets are doing. Because just because your specific area is getting a little interesting doesn't mean all areas are getting a little interesting. So there's still something around here for you, hon. But I do still want to pull cards. What else do you need to know? What else do you need to know? What else do you need to know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the big thing I'm going to tell you is High Priestess, which is all about our intuition. The other one is the 4 of Swords along with the 2 of Swords. So to prepare, my thought for you is getting out of any sort of emotional reaction, any sort of emotional decision making, and get very clear, get into the black and whites of things and less into the emotions, because the emotions are going to go up and down like everybody else's will. And so instead of that, just try to be black and white in what's going on for you. The Hierophant is another card that showed up for you. Justice. And the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands being at the end of this, I still think you're going to be okay, but there's still a lot to be learned here, learned in this situation, learned at this event. So I find out what other people are also doing and learn from them. Learn what other people are doing to secure their future in these kind of situations. And I feel like you're going to get some wonderful words of wisdom for that. But honey, I think you're going to be just fine. And if not, you know where to find me. And I will entertain you as best I can till then. Thank you so much, Allie. I appreciate you, darling. Am I relocating and where? Ooh, you know, hun, while I don't think I have a state applied to these cards, I look forward to seeing if we can get a state out of here. But let's see what shows up for you. Are you going to be relocating? Let's see. Does Ray want to move? Like, is that why we're asking? It's because you kind of want to? See, now you're over here like, now I'm going to have to ask Melissa. So like, Melissa, tell me the info. Damn you. Just throw the deck of cards over there. Okay. Is Ray relocating? Okay. Is Ray relocating? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Ray. So let's see. I'm giggling in advance, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. So the first card that shows up for you is the Knight of Pentacles. The second card that shows up for you is the Knight of Swords. The reason I'm laughing is because the slowest card in the deck is made up with the most reckless card in the deck. So I'm like, are you moving? It looks interesting right now. So let's see what else we have, darling. I also have the Ace of Pentacles along with the Empress. The other cards that showed up for you was the 3 of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and then the Ace of Swords hopped out for you. So are you relocating? I don't see why you couldn't if that is something that you're wanting to do. However, I feel like this is like pulling 2 ends of the same cord at the same time. Like there's not enough momentum at this second to make progress in one direction or the other. So it feels like this very weird stalemate. So I would love to know the insights of what's going on for you. But as of right now, it's I don't think you've decided, because you have all of this. No, I'm perfectly content exactly where I'm at. I'm feeling the urge to go. And then you have this slightly reckless, act now, think later kind of card. However, it's like with the Ace of Pentacles, though, there's this financial component. There's this work element to it. So if you're feeling like going, then do it. I mean, unless you have a reason as to not to, then go if you wanna. I like to tell people to do the things that they want to do already. I'm that one. I'm that person. I think you could. And I'm not saying that you will, because I still think this is your choice. This is your decision. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And these cards, unfortunately, don't ever tell us what to do, just options of what we could do. So it's like, yeah, if you want to go, hun. And it seems like you want to, but I don't see it clearly. Yes, here you go. Yes, you're moving to something. And where? Who knows where? Okay, so let's try this. We have water. We have air. We have what looks like Midwest Nebraska. We have inside a building. We have somewhere close to mountains. Looks like a mountain. Ooh, kind of like a farm town. So not a whole clarity there, right? The closest thing I could think of is possibly like near not high rigid mountains. So my thought, if you move, it doesn't feel like you're like, what is like a, not inside the Rockies, not inside like the Appalachian Mountains, but like either on the coast, but more where there's flatter land is the whole thought, the only thought that I have on that regard. But yeah, I think you could. I think you could. But thank you so much for your question, Ray. Totally have to let me know how that goes. Maria, you have, From YouTube land, because sing-songy is fun. Maria, you have a virtual crush. Saw his picture and decided to start a conversation, and he just responded. Does he also have a crush on me, or can we have, or crush on me, or can have in future? I'm just gonna see what shows up, because that's an interesting. I love that you have a virtual crush. It's kind of like all the butterflies. It's fun. Okay, let's see what shows up, hun. What do we need to know about the situation? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Whoop, first card hopped up. That's awesome. Okay, what else do we need to know? What else? What else do we need to know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gave a little too many. That's fine. You won't be upset with me. Okay, so there we go. First card that hops out for us is the Chariot, along with the Hermit card. I also have the Moon and the Ten of Wands. So my first inclination, hun, I'm glad that he responded. As of right now, it doesn't seem like he's swept up in the same, crushy feelies that you have. I feel like it's more of just like he's on his own and then someone showed up. That's cool. But I feel like he's got something else going on that he's dealing with. So you may not necessarily, it's more of, don't be surprised if he's not displaying the same emotions or the same feelings or the same reactions that you are with him. I feel like I also have the Queen of Wands along with the Tower and then the Four of Wands. So ultimately, I feel like your personality is going to draw someone to you. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be this person in particular, but it's like people are going to be in and out of your orbit anyway. You are going to find your person to have a future with. That's not going to be a question for you, but you will find it. You will have the house and home with someone. Just as of right now, I feel like you're putting a lot of your hopes into this one person, and it doesn't seem like a win. Does it feel like the lock and key kind of situation? Hook, line, and sinker. I think it's the time. It doesn't seem like completely hooked in right as of there, but I know that you will be getting someone. That is not even a question, honey. You got that one. This person in particular, maybe not so much, but I do appreciate your question, hun bunch. And thank you, and still enjoy him, chat with them, make him see your other ways, use your feminine wiles. If I can, my wife is losing it. Use your wiles to entertain yourself and have a good time, have a grand time, and get to know the person anyway. It's still good things to do. But yeah, thank you so much for your question. Oh, Maria, have you subscribed to the YouTube? Use of Tube. Please do. If you haven't as of yet, please like, please follow YouTube. Please like, please subscribe. Or is it please like subscribe? I think there's another one. Ring the bell. Notifications, that's what it is. Perfect. We're getting all the adages together, darlings. All right, Shiloh, can you see anything on my current relationship? Been going through a rough spot and not sure if I'm on the right path or not. Thank you. Okay, let's see what we need to know about this situation. Oops. All right, hon. Your current relationship. Your current relationship. Shiloh's current relationship. What do we need to know about that? I'm throwing things. I'm actually, you know what? We threw the cards. I'm gonna pull them. I'm gonna use them. So I got the first one, got the second, and oh, that's funny. So I have to giggle slightly at this because we have the same tower from before, but we also have the 9 of Swords along with the 2 of Cups. This to me couldn't be more than what you just stated in your question. Like, this is like the rough spot that you're having, the constant thinking of it, and then about the relationship. So that's a partnership that's going on there. Let's see what else hopped out. Ooh, I am short couple cards. I love that. All right, so the other cards that hopped out before I pull more, I have the first one, which is the Page of Pentacles. I have the 4 of Pentacles. I have the Queen of Pentacles. And I have the 6 of Wands. I don't know, like, what I'm feeling is like there's a youngness to the situation. Like it's either like a new relationship or a slightly... Like when this card shows up for me, it feels like an immature personality. I don't know if that's like you two are like in your 20s, early 20s, or if like maybe he's, you know, the big little kid kind of thing. He's like really focused on the things that he that this person likes. What I'm seeing though is still a little bit of fear, but also like I'm wondering if this is like an attachment to mom. Like the feeling that I'm getting is like there's this wanting things to be like they were when I was little, or when I was at home, or the way things used to be, kind of like this regressive, things aren't going well, I want things to be the way they used to be kind of thing. The other card that showed up was the 6 of Wands, so that's celebratory. So it seems like overall you may meander through it. You may figure it out. You may understand better what to do moving forward. You're both in your early 20s. Okay. So it does feel like a young relationship. Let me pull some more. Let me pull some more because I have an idea, but I don't want to assume. I assume too much already. So let me keep pulling. All right. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? 1, 2, 3. The biggest thing that I'm getting though, hun, is you remembering to take care of yourself. You remembering to take care of your likes, your wants, your needs. You taking care of your likes, your wants, your needs. You remembering what those are, because if you've gotten detached from them or if you've gotten disconnected from them, then you're no good to the relationship. And that also applies to your person. But if they're not on that, if they're not able to do that right now, that's okay. It's still good for you to take care of you, even inside this relationship, even inside this connection. So the card that showed up for you was the 9 of Pentacles along with the Knight of Wands and then the Ace of Swords. I think you two are going to figure whatever is going on for the two of you out. I feel like you have a little more duration to work through. You have a little bit more time on your hands with each other than just like dump him, honey. He's not, no, nothing like that. It just seems like you're figuring it out. You're figuring it out, and it's good to work through your road bumps. No, speed bumps. It's good to work through your speed bumps because you're gaining skills in that. No relationship is without its complications or its difficulties. So you're learning what that looks like, and you're getting experience and practice in that now. And then this will be useful for you in any relationship that you have moving forward, not just what you have here. So I think you two are going to figure this out a little bit longer, or work on this for a little bit longer. I think you golden. You golden, Salon. Thank you, Shiloh. Oh, let me shuffle. No? News. Oh, I was told not to shuffle. So you all, I wanted to make sure that I, set my timer for 4 minutes so that I don't pontificate for too terribly long. I love the word, but it's a terrible word at the same time. I know, I say it every time. Anywho, let me let you know first, if in case you would like to get something done personally with me one-on-one, I have 3 methods, 3, sometimes 4 methods in which you can get a reading or get a service done with me. First off is a pre-recorded personalized video reading that I perform out in my treehouse from a above vantage point of the cards as I pull them for you. So that is an in-depth, a lengthy video reading that I perform for you on any topic of your choosing, and I unpack so much when it comes to those kind of reads, because it gets me by myself kind of talking to you through the camera, and I get to listen to every bit of my intuition. I get to throw in anything else that shows up. I get to unpack something that I want to know a little bit more about, or anything else that just shows up. They're like, here's a moment of opportunity. Let's unfold that. And then let's get a game plan for you moving forward so that you don't have to repeat the same question again. You don't have to repeat the same issue again. You can heal it and move forward from there, or begin that process. Another way in which you can get services done with me is through Zoom. So I do Zoom either 30 or 60-minute reading sessions where you get to converse with me, kind of like face to face right here. As many questions as you can come up with in that half hour or hour, I will read on them till we're blue in the face. I will read on as many as you need. Another way, or two other ways that I have, so you can get some session or some session time, there we go, is through email. So I do pre-made PDF readings for you as well as all these wells, as well as through Facebook chat. Because sometimes you're a little camera shy. I get it. I still want you to be able to get some work done. I still want this to be accessible and meaningful for you. Something else that we're doing, or I'm doing rather, is that I'm building a new year service. I'm building a new year reading that is in the works. I'm getting it tested right now. I'm working with a couple people that I'm experimenting the design of the service out with. So soon you're going to be seeing a little bit more content kind of hinting to it, kind of some of the nuances about it. And then as soon as it goes live, I'll be presenting it and packaging it and showing it off for everyone so that you can see what the new year will look like, either for you energetically, you physically, and also some forecasts regarding like love, relationships, work, health and wellness, spiritual things, or the other. So let me not give too much away because I don't want to tell all my secrets as much as I'd like to. But I think, there we go. I got it. Perfect. Awesome. There's a little spot in the comments. Melissa is so good about providing those links for us. So thank you, my dear. Shall we hop back in?
Yeah.
Ooh, Melissa wants to know, are you ready for some more readings? I should have been a sports broadcaster. I could have been a contender. My Aries comes out sometimes, y'all. I'm sorry. Anywho, let me flip my phone over. So Yasmina, to give small context, 2020 was hell. Agreed. Your mom passed away. I'm sorry. I lost 2 of my jobs. I moved in with both siblings. Both kicked me out of their homes at separate times. Lived in my car for a moment. With that said, do you see anything positive for 2021? Because at this point, I just want to give up living. So first things first, hun. If you are serious about what you are telling me about giving up on living, then there are resources for that. Do me a favor, find that number. Also, let's dig into it to see what's going to be coming up or what we need to do to begin shifting this process for you, okay? So let's dig in. Let's dig in. Yes. Oh, yes. Melissa just wanted to remind you that you are loved. You are loved by others, by the people in this room, by this one over here that's talking all crazy at you, my darling. So if you ever need, even if it's just a quick chat, you know where to find us, okay? You know where to find us. All right, so let's see. What do we need to know? Yeah. What can we do to shift this? What can we do to shift this? What can we do to shift this? What can you do to shift this? All right, hon. The one thing that I am getting very loudly for you is just acknowledgement of how far you have come and how resilient you are to have gotten to this point. Even like you've gone through so much. You've had your siblings kick you out. Your mom passed. You've had all of these situations. That's resiliency there. And I love that about it. So I love that about you. So I'm glad that you have that. And that's kind of just in your bloodstream. That's just innate to you. So I love that. Let's see, what else do we need to know? Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, hon. So the first card that I dropped, the first card that I have done is the Star, along with the Page of Wands and the Three of Cups. So it's a touch of a mixed bag because yes, you're very acutely aware of your situation and no one is trying to tell you not to be, right? And then you also have, not that one, but this one, you have the Page of Wands. So this is the intense focus on the things that are going on for you. It's really, really hard to think good thoughts per se when you have the situation that you're coming up with. Don't doubt that at all. With the Three of Cups, the Three of Cups is often celebratory. It's often those good moments. But what I'm feeling off of you, however, is that it's hard to even have those celebratory moments when you have all this stuff going on. So for me, my first thought is, what other support can you find? If it's not your siblings, if it's not any other family members or friends that you feel safe at, or any location like that, can you seek counseling? Can you seek some local community resources that might give you just a moment to breathe, a little bit of respite, or a little bit of something, just a half an ounce of peace, so that you can get your feet back up underneath you, sometimes almost literally. Because I do have the Strength card. I have also Judgment, but I have the Five of Cups. So for 2020, hun, I understand that you've had an insane situation, and it, like you said, it has been hell to say the least. If we continue to stay in that headspace, then 2021 won't improve. So it can shift. It can evolve into something different, especially with that Strength card. But doing anything you can to kind of help give you a safe landing, a semi-comfortable just roof over your head so that you are okay. Anything that you can find that gives you tiny bits of comforts, just focus on that. Like, don't even think about the whole year right now, because honey, that is who knows? Nobody knows what the next year is going to be like. So just focus on exactly what you control, even if it's the next 45 minutes. If that's all that you can get your brain ahead of without, going too far out, I'd stick with there. Just the one day, 1 minute, 1 hour at a time, whatever it is that is necessary, so that you can find some sense of stability. Because this is going to keep racking you around, my dear. To answer your question directly, what was it? Do you see anything positive for 2021? The literal thing I want to give you is that it's in your hands, and you will figure out a way to cultivate that for yourself, no matter how big or how small it will be, even if it is a little cultivation of like paper folding flowers because it makes something pretty for you, or something bigger like manifesting a house. It doesn't matter. The point is, you're creating something. You will be creating something, and that's going to be what starts to bring you joy. So finding those little things that you can create, I think, will be really helpful to kind of start that little ball of wax rolling. But thank you so much for your questions, sweet pea. I appreciate you, and do let me know if you need anything, okay?
People in the comments are sending love to Yasmina.
Oh, I love that so many people are sending her comments and love. Love, love, love. Thank you, everybody. Yasmina, reach out to them. Like, if you all don't mind, Yasmina, reach out to them. Sometimes just having somebody that's listened to you for a half second, it's great to converse with. It's great to connect to. And it just reminds you there's a little bit of humanity. There's something about like talking with people who are just a tad disconnected from you that's just cathartic. So community, that's the best word ever. So chat with each other, chat with her, love on her, give her hugs. And you have my hugs too, my dear. But thank you. Kendra, I need to pick up these cards. Kendra, will you have success in your paparazzi jewelry business? Okay, let's see what shows up for us, darling. Paparazzi jewelry. I've seen it a couple of times. Oh, will you have success in your paparazzi jewelry business? Let's see what shows up for us, hon. Let's see what shows up. Will she have success in this business? She has success. Okay. So first thing that I want to remind you, hun, is that success is not a finish line that you get to cross. Success is more of like a continuing evolving plant is one way to think of it, like a garden or a lawn that has yardscaping and all these things. So defining what success means for you is really, really, really helpful to finding for yourself if you'll be successful, if you'll hit these little measures, if you'll hit these little goal points that lead to an overall feeling of successfulness. Let's see what else we need to know. Okay, so another thing that I'm getting for you, hun, is that I don't think paparazzi or this type of business is the winner for you. And I say that because it's going to give you a ton, though. It's going to give you a lot of experience. It's going to give you a lot of time to practice. It's going to give you a lot of the template for what business looks like, for running a business, from doing the marketing to doing the social, from doing the thing to doing the thing. It's going to give you a ton of these skills that it feels like you're going to actually be using those skills on something else, something that you create for yourself that's not based on somebody else's creation, if that makes sense. Let's see what else shows up. But I feel like it's great training. It's really good training for you, though, and we got to start somewhere. So I'm glad that you've made the decision to pick this up. I'm glad you made the decision to go forward with this. It's going to give you so much that you may not have gotten another way. So what else do we need to know? Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, hun. So one of the cards that hopped out for us was the Queen of Wands. So my first thought is that your personality is going to be your key in all of this. People are not going to necessarily buy the product, but they're going to buy from you. They're going to like you. So they're going to want to engage. And then the product ends up being like a bonus. And that's going to be fun. However, there's part of it that feels like it's going to be exhausting work. So maybe it's either something that you're not necessarily like, it's that feeling of not quite being prepared for how much work it actually is. And that's okay. It's like going to the gym for the first time. You get there and you have the trainer that works you out and you walk out wobbly and like, I didn't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be here. That to me is what this card is. But the great part about it, though, is that the character is still standing. You know, having worked his ass off, having exhausted himself and tried everything under the sun, he's battle worn, but he's still standing. So it's going to be harder work than we immediately thought. I also have the Knight of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. My concern, though, is while, yes, you have support, I don't think the monetary end is going to pay off in the way that you want it to the degree you want it to. So you need to be really clear about your numbers. Like, I wouldn't even trust, like, I don't know if paparazzi has like their template for how much you're supposed to sell or what, like, I don't know anything about the internal business workings of the brand. But if, for instance, they say, oh, you sell these for this price, I would suggest maybe I sell them for a little bit more, because on this platform, I have these responsibilities to maintain and it needs higher income. Or you redo the packaging, or you do something else that makes it better. The other cards that I have for you is the 4 of Swords along with the 8 of Pentacles and the Justice card. So for me, I feel like you're going to catch your stride. It is going to take a lot of work. I think you're going to detach, but you're going into something else. So I don't know if paparazzi is the epic one for you, but it does feel like you're going to be doing something. So if it's not this business, then reselling, then selling something else, then making your own product, selling that on Etsy or a million other locations. You being in business, you being an entrepreneur, you doing those kind of things, that's a big yes. This particular brand, I have questions on, but I think you got a whole lot that you're starting. So I love that for you. I do like that for you. So yeah, thank you so much for your question, Sweet Pea. All right, Lila, hello from YouTube land. Does Faith have good intentions for me? Does he want to be you? I'm assuming be with, right? Okay. Well, let's assume it's be with, because if it's be you, that's kind of interesting and a little odd. Though I would totally still pull cards for it, because it's like, no, that's a great situation. Hold on, let me find out. Be with? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I see it. Perfect. All right. Does Faith have good intentions for you? What do we need to know here? Faith. What do we need to know about Faith? His intentions. Let's see. It shows up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, hon. So looking at the card that's on the bottom of the deck, the first thing I see is the 9 of Swords. So for me, my first thought about what's going on here is that I feel like you probably would struggle with this question with almost anybody that shows up. You have, it's funny, the person's name is Faith, because I feel like sometimes you lack faith in relation to how people feel for you. So even if somebody exudes kindness and lovingness and warmth, you'd still be waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like there's that still like, I trust what I see, kind of, almost. Wait, am I seeing this? I don't know. And so I hope that makes sense, where it's kind of like, yeah, but, you know, kind of thing. But the other cards that I have for you is the 4 of Pentacles, along with the King of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. Let's see. And the other card that I have was, interesting, Justice, 4 of Swords, along with that 8 of Pentacles. What are his intentions? Okay. Because my first thought, with that 4 of Pentacles, I feel like everybody is playing their cards close to the chest. No one is really telling each other the truth or saying what they actually feel, and keeping, like, what is it, like the card up the sleeve kind of thing, where it's just you're waiting in case you need to, like, sling and cha-ching, or what is it, like you have the dagger in your I feel like a spy, and you have weapons in different locations. It's like we're waiting for if this person is going to be threatening in any way, and so you've hid your weapons on yourself so that you can whip them out in case you need to. But the whole point is that you shouldn't have to need to. You shouldn't have to need to defend yourself against anybody in that regard. So their intentions for you, I feel like I'm having a real hard time feeling as to what they are, because his intentions are very guarded. Like he's not, like, I feel like both cards in the sleeves, no one is really speaking honestly here. No one is speaking truthfully here, which makes sense that we have the Justice card. So it almost feels like it needs to be pulled back. You need like an unveiling, an unmasking of sorts, because no one is being real here. So it's getting, it kind of makes me want to like chew on both of you. Like, ew, well, why aren't we telling the truth? Like, can we speak honestly to each other about what's going on here? So what is his intentions? I can't tell, honestly. I feel like that's going to be one of those situations you are going to have to ask this person directly what their intentions are, and then believe them, because even though you may distrust him, his actions are going to tell you the truth. So it's like you're going to see, that's going to be the first half, and then you're going to hear is going to be the first half, and then you're going to see is going to be the second half, and that's going to give you the whole story. So I suggest ask them, darling. But thank you for your question. Y'all are interesting with your lack of talking here. But thanks so much for your question. Oh, my dear. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All righty. Melissa's working on it. If any of you have questions, please feel free to go ahead and throw in more. I do not mind reading for you again. They can be strange, weird, and unusual. They can be mundane. They can be esoteric. Throw in whatever you like. We will pull as we see fit. So Pasha, I'm separated, but you have a boyfriend. We're so into each other. Do you see us lasting? Ooh. So let's add a timeline to it. So let's see. Okay, you're separated, so you're possibly diluting, or not diluting. Oh gosh, what would you call it when you divorcing, separating? You're figuring that out to possibly get with this person. Gotcha. Okay, hon, let's see what shows up. Leo, have duration. We asked for a timeline. Let's see. You have 5 years under you. Usually, if you can do 5, you can do 5 more. Okay, let's see what else shows up. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, hon. So a couple things. One, I have the Sun card. So that is often very, very cool. Let's just leave it at that. That's a very cool card. Also, a card that shows up for us is the Fool, along with the Emperor. The other card that showed up for you, hun, was the 3 of Swords, along with the Hangman and the Page of Swords. So my first thought, looking at these, is yes, you're enjoying the hell out of your situation. Yes, you guys will probably have some time under your belt. However, when things get complicated, when things get a little interesting, when things are less in the honeymoon phase and they're more in the actual what it's like to be with each other all the time phase, we're going to have to choose to love each other instead of just being swept up in the emotions of loving each other. So once it gets to the I choose you phase, that's going to be a little bit more interesting, and you're going to have to ride the wave a little bit if you guys want to stick that together, because it's not going to be immediately comfortable in that situation. I don't see why you couldn't work through it, but just prepare and be as realistic and pragmatic as you can. But I don't see why you couldn't. I don't see why you couldn't put some duration under your belt with this situation. I don't see why you couldn't. But yeah, thank you so much for your question. Is it time? It is. I'm getting all dramatic because it's so much fun. Flash readings. So flash readings, in case you haven't seen me do them before, they are 1 card readings that I pull on basically any of the questions that you throw into the comments for me. I pull 1 card and give you the sound bite of a read, give you the best information I can off that 1 card as quickly as I can so that we can get as many people in before we have to close up shop. So let me get shuffling, and Melissa is going to start pulling, and then we will we'll pull some cards. Pull some cards. I'm shuffling away. Go! Belinda! Hi, Abby! Hey! You recently connected with someone romantically, but he violated my trust, but I'm struggling to let him go. How does he feel about me? Oh my goodness, Belinda, it seems like it's complicated, darling, right? So let's see what shows up for you. Okay. How does he feel about you? How does he feel about you? How does he feel? What is this one? Knight of Cups. So for me, the Knight of Cups is kind of like that knight in shining armor person. So this person kind of feels like he wants to, okay. So relating it to your question, he violated your trust. I feel like he actually wants to make it up to you. So I don't know if he comes bearing gifts and wanting to do hey, I try to be good. It's your judgment call, and if you really want to take him back, or if you really want to revisit the situation, coming back from that kind of situation is a hard one. But it feels like he still wants to kind of provide the flowers. He still wants to do the romantic gestures. So he still has some hearts there. Now, what's he gonna do with it? That's the question. That's a good question. But thank you so much for it, hon. Let's get to shuffling. Ivory, huh? 1 card? I know! 1 card. Will this be my last year in the shelter? Will this be my last year in the shelter? Will this be your last year? 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands for me has this quick movement to it. So I feel like I don't know your situation, but when this card shows up to me, this to me is all about taking massive action, fast movement, hopping on and doing something quickly, make a move now to secure something, to do something, to whatever it is that you need to do. So I feel like you can make this your last year there. Now, will it be? I feel like it's actually going to be up to you, but can you? Hell yeah, hon. Go move it and do it. And there you go. And move it with the 8 of Wands. Thank you, hon. All right. Rara, Baba, Rara. I want to say it so fast. How does this person RM feel about me? I'm worried about this person, but lost contact. I'm sorry. How do they feel about you? I don't know if we'll get much, but let's take a peek. See what shows up. What does RM feel about Rara? Let's see, 1 card. 1 card. I swore I shuffled. Actually, let me throw it in. That just seems ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna leave it out. Okay, this one hopped out. How do they feel about you? Temperance. So for me, temperance is all about balance, and finding the right ingredients, kind of like an alchemy. So it feels baseline though. So I don't know what kind of feelings you're aiming for or you would like to have, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel great either. It feels very baseline. So easy, great ingredients. Easy, just feels placid and easy. Thank you, hon. Shit. Okay, is there anything Spirit would like me to know? Let's see what shows up in one card for you, darling. And if the Eight of Wands comes up again, I'm throwing the card out. I'm throwing it out. Okay, what does Spirit want you to know? Watch it happen just to spite me. I'm gonna die laughing. Okay. What does Spirit want you to know? Ooh, okay. Spirit wants you to know you have things that you are weighing things against. So this or that, this or that. Honestly, hun, no one is judging you on trying to make the right decision. You're going to make the best decision based on the information that I have, information that you have. So don't worry about the decision being right or being wrong. Make the best decision for yourself. Boom. I know my wife hates me doing that right now, but it makes me happy, so I keep doing. Headed up to Buckley, Washington. Driving up Friday. Will it be smooth sailing? Honey, I hope you are wearing your masks, because, oi, it's getting interesting in these parts. Okay, let's see. Will it be smooth sailing for you on this trip? Will it be smooth sailing? What is this one? Four of Swords. I'm inclined to think with the Four of Swords, it is going to be smooth sailing, but there's going to be a lot of mental tiredness attached to it. So I wonder if like the actual traveling is going to exhaust you a bit, or if you're just going to be kind of just brain fogged, kind of tired, kind of bit. But smooth sailing, physically getting there, I don't see that being a problem, but I feel like you're going to have some worries along the way. So you'll be fine though, ultimately, darling. But thank you. Rhoda, trying to find her? Melissa's over there on your side, Rhoda. Like, Rhoda, throw your question back in, hon. Melissa can't find it. Sometimes, like, our platform, it, like, only gives us so far. And then we're like, it vanishes. Victoria, I'm dating a guy after 12 years of being single. Is he right for you? Fun. Oops. I think my wife is jealous. It's like 12 years single sounds good. No, she likes being married to me. Maybe like marriage in itself, like the whole like cliche of it, not so much, but being married to me, I think you kind of like. I think you do. Okay. The fact that we're doing that on camera might have something to do with it. I'm just going to say that out loud. All right. Is he the right one for you? Let's see, hon. Here we go. Is he the right one for you? Ooh, King of Pentacles. I feel like he is Mr. Stability, and I appreciate that out of him. Okay, so the feeling that I'm getting is that he is great for now. Is he going to be great for you, the person who you are 12 years later? We don't know that yet. But for who you are, for what you are and what you're about right now, he feels well suited. So my suggestion is just enjoy the hell out of that. Enjoy the hell out of that. Enjoy him. Get to know him. Figure this out. Enjoy it. Massage it. Do whatever you need to. But yeah, enjoy him. Thank you so much for your question. Why are you laughing at me? Because I can't say enjoy him. Enjoy him. Rose, how can you connect with your ancestors? Got you. Ancestors. So Rose, let's see what shows up for us. I have a little bit of information on that too. How can you connect with your ancestors? Oops. Okay. How can Rose connect with her ancestors? Let me pull a card for you. Ooh. Okay, Rose. So the Four of Pentacles for me in relation to your question. Okay, so I'm feeling this, or I'm hearing and reading your desire to connect with your ancestors, but I'm feeling a bit of fear in relation to that. So is this like, maybe this will be a comment that you throw in just a moment, but are you like a little bit nervous about this process? Are you nervous about how to go about it? Like, where's the fear in place? So there's tons of ways to do it. You can legit just start with writing a letter to whoever it is that you want to talk to or speak to, even if you don't know them by name, but just know their genetic connection to you, and you can kind of create a mental visual of who you feel like they are. You don't even need a picture per se, but like, for example, I'm doing an ancestral project for myself of my ancestry on both my mother and my father's side. I do not have pictures for all of my father's side, so I'm getting like, I know their names. I have that information, and with that kind of comes this little picture that I concoct in my brain, and I'm enjoying that, and I'm using tarot to kind of speak to what their life was and unfold who they are a little bit, and then ask them direct questions that way. So you can totally use tarot, you can totally use a medium, you can totally use tools, but you can also use something as mundane as pencil and paper and write a letter to this ancestor, or write a letter to your ancestor collective or your spirit team, and just start to listen to how you feel when you do that. You can start to make it special. You can make an altar. You can do a little art for them. You can bring offerings. You can bring gifts. There's so much that you can do. It's literally just following your intuition and your instincts and feel what feels good for you. And then maybe start doing a little bit of research on your genealogy, on where you came from. The nervous, yeah, but not sure how to do it. There is, depending on who you talk to, myself being one of them, I come from the point of there's not a right way. Now, if you have a particular spiritual belief structure, they will say there is this way in which you conduct or contact or deal with your ancestors. Trust your philosophical belief or your religious belief or your spiritual whatever. That's the area that would be most appropriate for you in your genealogy and your ancestry. If you're an Abby, I go with what makes me feel connected to my ancestors. For me, it's tarot. That's how I do it. I'm a writer. That's how I do it. So me combining the two things that I love gets me deep and connected to my ancestry. And I found their names. I have those conversations with my dad, my conversations with my mom. I have pictures, I have names, and I'm just building my own practice. I'm building my own existence for what feels awesome about connecting to my ancestors. That is more than one card, honey. That's like an info dump. But thank you, Rose. There's so much information about ancestral veneration, communing with your ancestors, talking with them. It's out there everywhere. Rhoda, we found your question. What kind of less obvious positive events can the husband and I look forward to at the end of this year or next year? And how... early next year, how will we need to prepare for any challenges? Honey, that is an amazing question. That question is perfect for like a year ahead or a year forecast or a new year reading. That kind of question is perfect for that. One card, I may not have anything to give towards that, but I totally want to pull and see what shows up. So I'm still going to pull, honey. But understand it's going to be a bit on the vague end. But if you want me to dig into that, deeply, you know how to reach out to me. You know where to find my website. You know how we can do that some more. But let's pull one card. Let's pull the card and see what shows up. Okay. What kind of less obvious positive events? I love how you were so specific. That is what I mean. That is awesome. What kind of less obvious positive events can you and hubby look forward to? Okay. What is this? Oh, cool. Okay, so this is when it gets vague because the 10 of Cups is all about positive events. This is a happy family card. This is happy collective, rainbows, butterflies, sprinkled all over the place, Lucky Charms kind of card. As to what, I have not a clue. So that's going to be the fun one that we need to unpack further, look into deeper. But of course you have good things coming in the new year. If that's what you're throwing out there, if that's what you're cultivating, that's what you're planning, that's what's going to show up for you, hun. Now what that event is, yeah, we got more cards for that. But thank you so much for your question, Rhoda. I appreciate you, darling. Thank you. Jesus, would love to hear what Spirit would like to tell me tonight. And thank you much, love. Hell yeah. Welcome back. I don't think I've seen you in a little bit. Okay, sis. What does Spirit want him to know? What's this one? There we go. What do you need? Ooh. Ha. Okay, so the reason that I giggle slightly is that the 7 of Pentacles is this card. This card is all about patience. So whatever it is that you got going on in your existence or in your life that you're being like, I want it now. I wanted it yesterday. Why isn't it here? Why blah, 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 blah. Spirit's telling you to calm it down. You have to let it grow and it's going to take its divine sweet time. You can't rush whatever this is. You're just going to have to let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Plants don't grow at your speed. They grow at their speed unless you're all GMO'd, but then nobody wants that anyway. So allow whatever's going on for you to develop in its own time. You can't rush this on. Can't rush it. Can't rush greatness. Thank you so much, Jesus. No, it just now. She thinks I have these just in my pocket. I'm pulling up quips left and right. It doesn't happen this way. They just right there. All right, Vanessa, what are J.O.'s feelings towards me? What are his feelings towards me? I'm losing my, there we go. What are, I love watching her laugh, like trying to be serious over there. I know, right? See, we have this whole unspoken communication that no one gets to see. One of these days, we will get you on screen in some way so that people can actually see what is happening. So I'm not the talking head talking to the right side of the screen. Is it the right side? I don't know which. I know. You're just in my head or something. I mean, it works for other people. It's got to work for me. What are J.O.'s feelings towards you? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's pull one. Get a general idea of what OJ's feelings or J.O.'s feelings are for you. What are this one? Okay, so the 10 of Wands is often feeling heavy, feeling So when I think of this card and when I look at this card, I see all of the responsibilities, burdens, issues, things that someone is carrying. So my thought is one of two things. I don't want to think that he thinks of you like a burden because that would suck. So I'm going to shift this and think he thinks of you as a strong person, because looking at this card, even though this person is carrying all of these things, not a one has hit the floor. Not a one is on the ground. He's still walking. He's still progressing, even if he has a full load. So whatever it is that's going on that got this person or you holding or carrying on with so much, you haven't dropped the thing, hun. So my thought, he feels like a little bit of a badass. We're going to stay with that. But thank you so much for your question, Vanessa. I appreciate you. Okay.
Yeah,
Rose. We haven't seen Melissa on screen in a while. Yeah, I know. Aw, thank you. You'll hop in next week? We'll do something? Okay. Okay. Find it. Oh, donuts. Okay. I know. It embarrasses Melissa. This is why I have to talk about it. I like food a little too much, right? We know this about me. One of my things is donuts, like legit. Like if I ever become one of those people that like, don't look at me that way. If I ever become one of those people who does events, like I would love, y'all gonna make me fat, y'all. I would love it if people brought me donuts. Like that would speak to the little fat kid in me until the cows came home. So all y'all need to know this now. Donuts is where it's at. Okay, is A okay? Because I was hoping to know how he feels about me. Is A okay? So are you asking if they are if they're doing all right, or are their feelings about you? So let's do the feelings about you part, because when we have two questions, I have to split them up. So let's see what A's feelings are about you. Yeah, they're fine-ish, you know, like everybody else is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Is A okay? What is A's feelings towards you? Feelings about you. Feelings about you. Let's see. Here we go. Feelings about you. That's interesting. Because to me, this is the card that's between a rock and a hard place, or between two decisions. So I'm wondering, how does he feel about you? I wonder if he can't quite get a good read on you, because it seems like there's like this one presentation, but then there's this other presentation that you have. So I'm wondering if maybe you have like different facades or different masks that you wear with this person, because it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of clarity there. So this is interesting. How does he feel about you? I don't know if he knows what to feel, honestly, because that one tells me like no one's made a decision yet. There's still the decision to be made on this card. So I don't think he's decided how he feels as of yet. But thank you for your question. Lisa, one card. Will my life be back to normal anytime soon? I think that is the $100 million question that everybody is asking. Will lives go back to normal? What do you think, babe? She takes a deep exhale. Will life go back to normal? Anytime soon? She's like, yeah. Well, true. Let's see. Will life go back to normal? Will your life go back to normal anytime soon? Will your life go back to normal anytime soon? What is this one? 10 of Pentacles. Okay, hun. So 10 of Pentacles for me is all about family, all about legacy, all about this moment forward. So will it go back to how it was? I don't think so. And not in the bad way, though. Not like, oh, my life is terrible, it's over, it's never going to be the same. I feel like you're going to make, like a lot of us, you're probably going to make a new normal for yourself. You're going to pull on things that are kind of like the way it was, but then there's so much that has changed that there's no way it can go back to be the way it was. So there's this mixed bag on halfway through of it. So the 10 of Pentacles, because I think of these older children, this younger child, and then this older gentleman. There's just this pensive, this looking back, but this also looking forward kind of perspective on this card. So, back to normal. There's going to be a new normal is the idea, is this shift here. But I'm not upset about it. It'll get back to some sort of new normalcy. There we go. Darling. But thank you so much for your question. So you sweet souls, you can find me here next week if you so choose to come and hang out and visit with us. I do hope that you liked. I do hope that you subscribed to the YouTube channel and to the Facebook group so that you can stay in touch on anything that we do, anything that we provide, or any little events or tidbits that we throw out there. It's been fun playing cards with you all. And would you do me the favor of sharing this video or tagging a friend in the comments, bringing as much love to these videos is something that we like to do so that we can share and show that tarot is not something that is scary and needs to be closeted and done under hushed voices and under covers. It can be broadcasted. It can be done for everyone to enjoy. So you all take care. Please mask up. We're going into that new wave of fun stuff. So take care of yourself. If you would like to schedule something private with me, one-on-one directly, click on any of the links that are in the comments or directly in this post, and it'll get you in touch with me. So yeah, you all take care. Mwah. I'd give you kisses, but I got lip gloss on. I'll mess it up. Today was November 18th. I read for you tonight from 8 to 9, just in case you're wondering why I'm not talking to you on December 38th. 38th, yes. But you all take care and have a great night. Bye.